Hey everybody, today's lesson we're going to start talking about how to visualize pentatonic scales all over the neck in any key and really try to break out of this boxes and stuff that people get into. The system that I use is something that I've started using with a lot of students of mine, and I get the best results that I ever have when I'm trying to teach people how to move around the fretboard and not be intimidated by different scale positions and different keys and everything like that. It's a system that requires some theory, so if you don't know how to spell your keys, you should go and study the Understanding Keys lesson on the site at guitarlessons365.com and be able to spell your major scales. Okay? Now after you've done that, it's a pretty simple system that at first you just work it through slowly, but it'll become second nature to you, and it's really kind of looking at the neck like a musician would look at it, not just as like a series of boxes, okay? So if you don't know this material yet, study up on the keys, study up on the scale forms as well, which we also have on the site, and then we're going to put those together and learn how to visualize the guitar neck, okay? Have fun. Okay, so now we're going to try to start putting together our theory for understanding how to spell major scales together with our knowledge of the 5 forms of the major pentatonic scale. Now, we're going to use this pentatonic scale to not only play major pentatonic, but minor pentatonic and a lot of modal pentatonics. So you're going to get a lot out of these 5 forms. So let's start by just explaining this system. If you can spell a scale, let's say we have the key of G major. If you understood your keys, you should be able to say the 7 notes in a row of the G major scale. That would be G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G if you want to go back to the octave. So there's 7 notes all the way up to F sharp, and we have 5 forms of the pentatonic scale. Now the pentatonic scale doesn't use all 7 of those notes. It only uses the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 5th, and the 6th. Okay? So what we can basically do from that is, if you look at your pentatonic forms printout that I have on the site, you can see that there is one called the shape built off the root. Shape built off the 2nd, shape built from the 3rd, shape built from the 5th, and the shape built from the 6th, or the form built from the 6th, 5th, whatever. What that basically means is each one of those forms will work off of that particular note in a key. So let's say let's stay in the key of G major, and let's say we wanted to play all of our pentatonic forms up the neck in G major. So what we'll do first is we try to find the first one of those notes that we can play down here. Remember, the notes we're looking for in pentatonic is 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. So that'd be G, A, B, D, and E for the G major scale. And the first one of those 5 letters we have on this 6th string, we're only going to be using our 6th string to visualize this, is this G at the 3rd fret. If you don't know your notes on the 6th string, you can very easily get around that really quickly just by, if you know, I mean, there's tons of charts you could look at. We might do a lesson on how to kind of visualize that, but that'll probably be in the beginner section of the site sometime soon. So if you don't know that, you may want to look there. It might be there by the time you see this video or whatever. But so we're going to stay on G on the 6th string, and we're going to play the shape built from the root there. And that gave us G major pentatonic in that area of the neck, basically. Then moving up to the 2nd note in the key of G major, which is A, then you'd play the shape built from the 2nd. Now, so that gives us basically the key of G major pentatonic in that area of the neck. So this is the shape built off the 2nd. So no matter where I'm at, say I wanted to play the key of C using this very same shape. Well, in order to figure out how to do that, I would have to figure out what the 2nd note in the key of C major is, and it's D. So I would find D on the 6th string and put that form right there, and suddenly that form becomes C major right there. If I wanted the key of A major, well, what's the second tone in A major? It's B. So I'll go to B and play the exact same form again. So you see how this works. They're all built off, these scale forms are always work off the same notes in the scale. So whenever you have the second note in a key, you play that same shape every time. So then the shape built off the third, if we go back to the key of G major, what's the third tone in G major? Well, you go G, A, B. So you go up to B, and you play the shape built from the third. That's simple. If you wanted E major, you think of what's the third tone in E major, you spell your E major scale out, and you'll see that the third tone that you say in that scale is G sharp. And then you play that shape built from the third right there, and you have E major using that form. So every single one of these forms can play in every single major pentatonic key. Just depending on where you're at, it's called a different name. So then let's keep going. We have the shape built from the fifth because we skipped the fourth. And what's the fifth tone in G major? Well, G, A, B, C, D. So we go up to D and play the shape built from the fifth right there. All right, and then we play the shape built from the sixth, which if we figure out, well, D is the fifth tone, then E is going to be the sixth tone. And we have right there the double dots, and we play the shape built from the sixth. All right, and then we can keep going up. We started here at the root, the G, right? Well, we can go 12 frets up and play that at the octave and play the same shape we play in the root down there. One octave higher. Okay, so that's what I want you to do for now. The next lesson is really going to break down how you can do this to a high level. But for right now, I want you to get familiar with understanding that all these forms always go in the exact same order. You always have the root shape followed by the shape built of the second or third. Even if you start in a different key, say we started in the key of, A major, okay? And I figured out the 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6 of that key, which is A, B, C sharp, E, and F sharp. Well, the first one of those 5 notes I have available on the 6th string is actually F sharp. So that doesn't start on the root shape. We're starting right here on F sharp, which is the 6th tone in the scale. So we would play the shape built from the 6th right there. Then the next tone up would be to the root. And then the second off B, and then the third off C sharp. So you can see that these will always go in the exact same order. They're always connected the exact same way. If you analyze the pentatonic scale, you'll notice that the last note in every form is always the first note in the next form up, or vice versa on the way down. The first note in the form would be the last note in the next form down. They're always connected. They fit in together like a jigsaw puzzle. So I'm going to show you right now we're kind of still trapped in a box. We're still going between forms and stuff. But what I'm going to show you the next lesson is how to stay in one area of the neck and fly through these keys and really grasp how to really play through any chord changes, any keys that you want effortlessly using these. Okay? So stay tuned, get this nailed, and I'll see you the next lesson. Bye-bye.